Oh my God. The thrash is on to get all these cars ready to go to Biloxi for Cruisin the Coast 2024. We have 6 days to get an engine in the 39. We've got to get the intake blower put back on Brandon's car. We had to take it all apart because we're changing the MSD box that controls the carburetors for an LS. He's added the blower, so we had to change it up and get one that controls boost and timing. So we're switching the harness and the box out for that, and also had to add a vacuum port to the back of the intake right there. So once that's done, we can put this back together and this thing's ready to go. It's already been proven. It's been on Power Tour. It pretty much has no issues. So it's pretty reliable. My car over here, I mean, honestly, it could go now. It doesn't really need anything. Just some, you know, a little bit of maintenance here and there. So, but there's a 4-inch spacer in that box, and I just don't feel like my blower sits high enough. But when I do that, it's just going to open up a can of worms, because I'm going to need a longer belt for the blower. I'm going to have to redo my fuel lines, redo my throttle cable. But the cool factor is pretty good. The payoff will be good. I need to adjust the pinion angle on this car, fix the gas gauge, change the shifter, and just do typical maintenance, change oil, because there's no telling the last time I changed oil in this car. So I need to show it a little bit of love, because I drive it all the time and I beat the crap out of it and I never do anything to it. So, but the second I do that, show it some love, that's when it usually breaks. That's what's happened around here a lot lately. But let's get started. We got, like I said, 6 days. We have to have all these wrapped up. Time's a ticking, right?
Time's ticking.
Time's ticking.
Yep.
I got Brandon's engine back together. We got the catch can installed, new regulator installed with boost reference. So he's just got to run a line from there back to the tank, and his sending unit already has a return built into it. So all he's got to do is run a line. This thing is finished up. 4-inch spacer. This is happening right now. So get the belt off. All right. I got to undo my fuel line, cut a couple of zip ties, lift the whole blower up. We can set it right there on top of the course port, swap out the studs, spacer,
Make it happen.
put it right back, and then build a new fuel line.
Yep.
But it'll be great because, number one, this is a pain in the butt to adjust because it's right behind the course support. So this will be raised up 4 inches. I'll have to get a longer belt, no big deal. And then getting to the distributor will be a little easier because right now it's very tight getting behind there. So if we raise all of this up, it'll make it that much better. Just like that, spacer is installed. Now I just got to extend the fuel line down. I'm going to redo this anyway. And longer belt. Longer throttle cable. So, which I have a couple of those. But man, way cooler. There we go. That looks better. Brandon's cheating with the tunnel ram. And Bert over here, he's got a 4-inch spacer. And then a 2-inch spacer under the carburetors. Fire it up. So the 39, the engine is completely stripped out, removed, and he went and bought a brand new Blueprint crate engine on the crate over there. You can't really see it. Bert's car is pretty much finished. He's not even here, but we're about to test out the brakes, huh?
Yep.
And see if the fuel tank leaks. Which you probably will.
Oh yes, fuel all over my head.
So it's pretty much ready to rock and roll. Worked out a few bugs. The brakes work better. We swapped out the fuel regulator for one that's boost reference. Got a return built into that guy, so it's a little happier there. I ordered a belt for mine since I put the spacer on it from Alki Digger. So now I got a belt on it. They sent me 2 different ones. They're super cool and didn't really know which one would work best. So I have a 66 and a 68-inch belt, and the shorter one was perfect. Here is the engine that I was going to put in that 39 Chevrolet as a bone stock small block Chevrolet, just so he could make the event. But he was like, dude, see what Summit has in stock. I'll go get a crate engine and we'll do this one time. So that's what we did. We came up with this Blueprint's 350 cubic inch engine. It makes 390 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. It comes as you see it. It's ready to go. Carb, the oil pan, the distributor's in it. Timing's already set. There's only 2 things I need to do to it before we put it in the car. That's the balancer and the flex plate. So right now I'm going to move it over to that bay over there, get those 2 things on it, and then we'll drop it in the car. the moment of truth. The engine is back in. Everything's hooked up. Well, we've changed it up a bit, Bert.
Yeah, we did.
Bert went for a test drive earlier, thinking his car was ready to go.
Yeah.
Until the wheel fell off of the rear end and you sheared all the studs off the driver's side. So, this is the one that was in my car that I took out in Biloxi last year when we 4-linked it. It's ready to go. It bolts right in. Now he has 4-wheel disc brakes, 35 spline axles, a 389 gear from Quick Performance. He is not breaking this unit. So my car's on the rack. We have to adjust the pinion angle, change the oil, nut and bolt check everything because I drive this car all the time and never check anything. So the oil pan is really low and it hits on a lot of stuff.
Can we do this?
It's all dented in.
Can we cut this? We'll go there, put that over here.
So we 4-linked this in Biloxi last year. It's got the Ride Tech bolt-in suspension. It's got 3.5-inch Flowmasters on it. Magnum T56. My fuel filter, everything's behind here. That's why I got a little heat shield to protect it. You can see it's low. Everything drags. So, yeah, like you wouldn't see none of this. Like if you're looking at my car from the outside, it looks like a total piece of crap. But like the frame and underneath it is mint. Big brakes on all 4 corners. So it's not too bad. Look how big the front brakes are on those 15-inch wheels. They barely clear. It's because they got a 2-inch spacer on there. Those are 13-inch rotors. So what's left here? Change the U-joint from a 1310 to a 1350. Because that's a 1350. And hook up the brake line. All right. That ain't gonna fit there, Bubba. That's different size. I know it ain't gonna fit because the one you need is in my pocket. It's right here.
Like this
It's
one.
right there. Try that one. See if that fits your brake line. Things have taken a turn. Apparently this is where 383s come to die.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you can see it through here. That's the stud for the front main cap. The cap fell off. That was a crate engine that I traded a car for. And apparently they didn't torque the main caps down. We heard a noise last night, just pulled it apart, and the front main cap is laying in the oil pan. We're now doing an engine swap on this car after I just delivered the 39 this morning. Unfortunately, this car is not getting a fresh blueprint crate motor go back in it. It's now getting the 305.
Here's what it is.
Ah, whatever.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
You got gold put on it?
Yep, go. What was that? This car is
The little
haunted.
305 is not allowed.
We've put a motor in Mike's 39. We pulled the blower motor out of this because the front main cap fell off. Now the rod bearings are trying to fall out of this small block that we had out of the Monte Carlo that ran perfectly fine in that car. So now we're going to get the 307 that was in your C10 that I took to Texas, put in your 57, drove across Texas, pulled it out, and it's been sitting in your house ever since. We're going to take it and put it back in this 57. Let's recap. The past week, I've had to do an engine swap in my friend Mike's car. Pulled his 383 out because it was not happy and put in a crate engine in his car. We had to pull the blower motor out of Bert's 57 because the front main cap fell off. That was a crate motor that I had traded a car for, and it was supposed to be a good motor, but turns out not so good. So then I had this 305 that we just pulled out of a Monte Carlo that ran perfect, low mile. I was like, dude, this is it. This will get us to the car show, and when we come back, we'll swap it later. No, all the rod bearings are junk. So now we're pulling it out, and we're going to get the 307 that was in Brandon's car when we went to Texas. I don't know, this is just getting out of hand. Try. We are just about ready for Cruising the Coast. I just got back shooting an episode of Fast Road Neighborhood in Cotton, where we went to Arkansas and ran the Arkansas Mile in the Trans Am that we built on the show, which I'll show you here. I ended up getting back really late, and I haven't had time to work on nothing of mine. So I think Bert's car's pretty much ready to go. They said they test drove it all as well. I don't know if they're putting a hood on it or not. I'm assuming they probably will. We're supposed to leave in the morning at some point, and I was going to get the 64 ready because my son has really bad asthma, and he can't ride in a hot car for very long, and it starts really affecting him. So I had just put vintage air in the 64 Impala, but I haven't got it charged yet. Like I said, I've been gone, hadn't had time to work on it, so the 64 is not ready. So then I was going to take my dad's 34, which is right here. I got it out of the storage and brought it over here. It's got air. I mean, it's ready to go. It's an old school street rod. It was on Fast Road Neighborhood Cotton last season, where Clay Milliken drove it. And like I said, it's a good car. But he is hell bent on taking the 57. He loves the 57. The only bad thing about that is the car is super loud. It's super hot because of the headers and the exhaust and everything. And the gas fumes are just horrible. So, but he is hell bent on taking it, which means I got to put the damn thing on a trailer and get it down there. Once we get down there, we can cruise around, you know, short trips. It's fine, but I can't put him in the car for 6 hours. It won't be good. So, but before we do that, I need to set the pinion angle, change the oil, and put the new tires on it. And then there's other stuff I wanted to do, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to do what needs to be done to get down to Cruisin the Coast so we can have a good time and relax. We'll get this stuff with a 57 knocked out first thing in the morning. Then we'll get that Joker loaded up, and we'll get down to Biloxi so we can actually have a good time. I'll probably film that separate, the trip down and the first couple of days that we're down there, and I'll put it out midweek. And then the back half of the week, I'll film that, and then we'll put it out next weekend. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.